Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire, a little review of the challenge rules. And if you'd like to play along, you can find it on my website or the Steam Workshop. Picking up where we left off, we had cleared out a little bit of a skeleton raid. I wanted to set something up right now. So for animals, I want Bash to do the butchering, and for skeletons, I want Raptor to do it. Raptor isn't bothered at all by corpses. He is bloodlust. So we're going to allow him to do the sort of butchering. Now I wanted to go over some feedback. One of the pieces of feedback for me was, why am I not using deadfall traps? So deadfall traps are very, very useful, but they are also very expensive. Oh my god, okay. So I've got a Prepare a While raid, Letherington. Oh, this is a very, very small raid. This is not bad. Clank and Roy coming in. But, Bash, I'm sorry, I can't let you rest. I'm going to have to repair my defenses. So the reason I don't use deadfall traps is because they are an incredibly inefficient use of steel. I do plan on having use of deadfall traps in the future. When I have an excess of steel, I don't have said excess yet, right? I just don't have the materials to build deadfalls. Turrets, like mini turrets, are a far more efficient use of steel to do damage than the maximum amount of damage that a single deadfall trap can do versus a single turret. Turrets win out in a landslide. So I just wanted to point that out. So I'm having JD replace the turrets that I've lost as fast as he can, so that we are ready for this next raid. Raptor is butchering the skeletons that are out here, and Bash is repairing the kill box. Gabe is farming, and all's well that ends well, right? JD, you are hauling, yes, uranium to the turrets. Good. I'll even try to build more than what I had previously, if possible. We'll see. Alright, this is the last skeleton turret. Or skeleton corpse. Don't know why I called it a turret. And why is time slowing down? Oh, JD went south into the skeletons. So let me schedule to stay close. They're actually just beginning their assault. So they're obviously going to come through this point of ingress here because I haven't rebuilt that wall, or haven't built that wall. But that's fine. All right, Bash, you're going to stay inside. Everybody else outside. Get behind cover, and this should be a really, really easy fight to win. There's only 3 of them. And their weapons are not great. Ah, smoke leaf, huh? And then Letherington will be coming in from the north in a moment. So speaking of coming in from the north, let me set up a future project. So this future project is going to be a trickle feeder. A trickle feeder might not be a term you're familiar with, but basically the idea of it is that we want to control where they come in and how many of them come in at once. So what we're going to be doing is setting up a bit of a maze to slow their attack and make them come and attack us one at a time, which is far easier to deal with than as a large swarm. Alright, that fight is over. Raptor, I'm going to have you immediately start butchering them. And then Bash, you'll be fine. So the trickle feeder I'm going to be building over here at the end of this sort of long run to maximize the amount of time I have to be able to deal with targets. Okay, I don't want you building that. I want you making a door. I'm going to take JD off of priority mining for a bit. Until things get repaired and built. Beer brewing is now done. Let's go back to microelectronics. And with beer brewing done, let's get a brewery and some fermenting barrels. All right, perfect. So this door is now constructed. Brigand outpost. No. Well, I won't deny it, but I don't think in the next 5 days I'll be heading to that. Not for that price. That was a pretty shabby reward for the effort. Now, once Bash finishes making some extra meals for us, he'll finish off this structure, or JD will. One or the other, I don't know which. Someone will. Emergency approach. A shuttle is landing with 3 troopers. Commander must be rescued. Troopers can be sacrificed. They will offer me honor, shuttle loot, goodwill. I don't know if I want to go down the honor route. No, I guess I will. So the quest here, I will accept. After 8 hours, the rescue shuttle will come and pick up the survivors. Expires in 9 hours. I'm going to accept this in the morning when it is a little bit warmer. I'm a little worried about the refugees or the shuttle crash victims getting too cold. Because it's, because it's way outside of their probable comfortable temperature range. So, I am interested in that quest, but, well, we'll see. All right, now that I'm starting to warm up, it's not that warm yet, but it's starting to warm up, I'm going to start to queue up other mining. And JD is already working on our summer clothing. It's best to have it before we need it, for sure. All right, now that it's starting to become morning, we will accept honor, and we will accept for Raptor. So the shuttle crashed. Up north, actually just beyond our tunnel here, which plays to our benefit. So I'm going to reinstall one of these heaters here so that we can heat this tunnel a little bit more. Actually, I might even do 2 of them because I don't believe our farm needs all these heaters at the moment. So that we can stave off hypothermia as we work to defend Ilotioslou. Boy, you have a name. Now, if I fail this quest, I still get the shuttle loot anyway, because the shuttle's here. So there is a bit of a hidden benefit from even accepting these things, even if there's no chance. But taking a look, right now it's negative 84. And yeah, the troopers here are probably going to fall due to hypothermia. But Ilotioslou probably won't, as he is protected until negative 46. So he should be able to hold on there. And I have all of my guys back home more or less ready to defend against whatever raid might get thrown my way. But yeah, these guys are I'm sure they're getting very hypothermic. Yes, they are. That's that is a purposeful one of the challenges of this this mod is that trying to keep people alive is supposed to be challenging given the hypothermia. Now, Elo here is probably only shivering. Yes, he's only shivering. I don't know if he's going to be able to stay warm enough for the duration of protecting him, though. But this tunnel is getting to be temperate-ish. At least not instant death levels of temperature. All right, so here's the raid. Oh, this is the last raid. The raid is up north. It's a bunch of brawlers. I'm going to rally to it, leaving Bash to bash. Oh, never mind. They were so hypothermic, they proved to be completely and utterly incapable defenders. Well, that's awkward. And they're just bashing him to death. Oh no, they're chasing me now. Curious if I could go for a divide and conquer type scenario here. Having them chase. Nope, there they go. He died. Thanks, cutie. Alright, now that I know that they're all brawlers, I can definitely mess with the remainder, as long as I stay unhypothermic. So I am worried a little bit about Raptor slowing down due to hypothermia, but JD and Gabe are pretty well insulated. But what I'll do is I'll just spread the damage around to the point where, you know, they're very slow due to wounds incurred. And this gives me the shuttle loot anyway. So, as you can see, these guys aren't even really coming for me anymore. They're going for a swift exit. But they're still worth steel. Alright, Raptor. I'm going to... Wow, you didn't have a... Interesting. Didn't have a death acidifier. Raptor, I'm going to have you be a constructor. You don't mind dead bodies, so let's have you warm up. The other two go straight to the tunnel and then go home. So, totally not successful in that all of the guests were murdered. But, you know, whatever. We get shuttle loot. I just didn't get there in time. And even if I had, there was probably a pretty high likelihood that What's-His-Face would have died anyway. Oh, great, now we have a solar flare. Okay. Well, Randy, just keep throwing curves. So the solar flare is a little problematic for Raptor here. Let me stop what I'm doing and head for this spot. Because he's already hypothermic. Everybody else did not start off hypothermic and can take cover to get warmer soon. But, Wake Up Go Juice zone. Become Wake Up Go Juice. Raptor's heading for the Steam Geyser. So that will help mitigate his hypothermia. All our plants are going to die. And if anyone gets hypothermic, I'll throw them into the Steam Geyser area. Well, that sucked. Okay, power's back on. Bash did get a little hypothermia, but not terrible. I'm actually going to take a minute to relay out the bed a little bit better. While we're up. No, don't plant these. Gabe, you deliver. This is so that doctoring becomes easier. I keep changing my mind about how I want to lay things out, but I think this will be the last swap. All right. So now we need to complete this structure here with just a little bit of steel, and then claim all of this loot up yonder. That's probably the first thing I'm going to have Raptor do. Bash is on a break risk. Let's have him eat. Oh, no, you're not hungry yet. Alright, so Raptor, go berry. What's his name? And then I'm going to have you caravan the stuff up here back. A lot of these weapons are bio-coated, but we can still smelt them for material. And have Raptor bring this home. Alright, Bash did get a sad wonder after all. The low psychic drone plus sleeping in the cold due to the solar flare pushed him over. That's okay. Nope. No more caravanning. Alright, so this tunnel is nice and temperate, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to be moving these heaters back. This was just so that our defense force wasn't going to get hypothermia. And it's sad to see things like bio-coated weapons get smelted down, but they really don't have any purpose. No one buys them. No one can equip them. So we get rid of them. Alright, GD. Let's get the last of the turret that I wanted built. And then we'll work on the defense walls, the trickle feeder walls. We have got a mech cluster. Initiates fog in 12 days. And it is actually remarkably easy to deal with. There's just a lancer and a few turrets. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, cool. It does have a high mech shield, meaning that we wouldn't be able to mortar it, but I don't have mortar tech anyway, so that's kind of a moot point. Okay, now that it's only negative 54, I'm going to have Gabe unrestrict so that he'll be able to start mining. Oh, no, I don't want you doing that. So that he'll be able to start mining compacted steel. And that will get our steel supply up a lot and allow us to do some interesting defensive projects. The other thing I want to do is JD come up here, and we're going to start getting the shuttle loot and components as well. So the shuttle loot, one of the real benefits is its plasteel, and this plasteel is going to allow us to make a shield belt for Bash, which is just simply going to be awesome. Alright, JD, would you be so kind as to finish off this project? Oh, that's annoying. Alright, building the steel wall and then roofing it up completes that. So in here, what I'm going to do is this will be a low priority stockpile. Over here, I'm going to just keep my wood, if I could select it. There it is. So the wood stockpile is, well, you guessed it, going to be for wood and wood only. And then the low priority stockpile is just for everything but low. And that way we have somewhere to keep more stuff. The limestone wall, that's going to be really nice. Bash is starting to do some repairs. And we're building up a steel supply so that when it comes time to be able to build a better research bench and comms console, we can do that. And pretty immediately too. Because that is getting pretty close. All right, let's definitely enjoy the party. I think we've earned it. Another thing, now that it's tempered enough to start getting stuff like jade, we can start acquiring the jade to do base improvements. So these trickle feeder walls aren't yet built. I'll still wait for that. Make wart forever, and we'll start to get some beer. Uh-oh, power outage. Bash, no, Raptor, you're quite happy. I'm gonna have you do the flicking. Gotta make sure not to have a localized power outage. So, fog generator, there's still a few days left. I think the best approach to defend against this thing is to use the natural line of sight blockers, like these walls, and I might not even focus on destroying it, truth be told. So JD, here's what I want you to do. You are going to be... Oh, you're already unrestricted. I want you to construct overcraft. So now he's going to work on those walls. And Bash is making a spear. There's one. And microelectronics just got done. Let's work on prosthetics or mortars, maybe, in the meantime. Or even gas operation. I'll get gas operation. So I do plan on making a high-tech research bench eventually, but initially, I'm going to work on other research. Let's get a comms console in here, and a beacon or two. So one of the things, and this will take a little bit of explaining, but one of the things I always do in all of my bases is to have a bait beacon, and I'll explain as carefully as I can the logic behind bait beacons. So there is a type of attack in RimWorld called a pod attack, where enemies will use transport pods to land on your map tile. And there's several different types of pod attacks. So there is a type of pod attack where they are scattered everywhere, and none of them are grouped together. There is another type of pod attack where they target an orbital trade beacon that is installed and powered on. And then there's a third type of pod attack where they just target one of your colonists. Now, for the types of pod attacks where they target your trade beacon, I like to build trade beacons in my base that are uninstalled so I can trade, and then also have trade beacons that are nowhere near my base so that I can lure their attacks to a spot of my choosing. So the way this looks like is I'll have a high priority stockpile for an uninstalled trade beacon. And then the other trade beacon out here is going to be dragged out and powered on in the middle of nowhere. Essentially, the idea is to have it at the end of your kill box, so that if your trade beacons are to be targeted by a pod raid. The pod raid ends up in a spot that you want them, and not in your stockpile, in your trade stockpile. So if you've ever had raiders land in your trade stockpile and you're like, whoa, that's unlucky. It actually wasn't unlucky. It's literally by game design. They are designed so that they land at your trade beacons that are powered on and installed, or just installed at all. So that's why I keep one beacon out in the middle of nowhere installed and another beacon close to my base uninstalled. It's by design. It is a survival mechanic. Okay, these tunnels look very cleaned up and cleared. There's still some stuff left up here that I'll carry at some point. In fact, let's do that now with JD, because I'm going to need some components for the high-tech research bench and stuff like that. And then I'm going to temporarily put Gabe on high priority hauls so that he can help to sort our trade stockpiles up. Because right now they're a little disorganized. So, as I imagined, the camp here that I was issued to clear, I'm almost certainly not going to clear it in time. Which is too bad. I wouldn't have minded the honor, but I just don't think it's a realistic thing for us to do. So I did put the comms console outside the base. I am going to need to roof it off so it doesn't short circuit in rain. But the reason I have it out here is, well, for pretty much one reason only. We are short on space inside the base. Space is at a premium, and comms consoles don't really matter if they're in or out of the base. So as long as they're roofed off and protected from the rain, it's fine. I'm also going to install lights back here. So the purpose of the lights is to increase my movement speed during nighttime so that I can move around faster, and also so that... oh, interesting that you're hauling that. Also so that we don't have a darkness debuff, we work faster. There's a lot of little reasons to have illuminated zones like that. So these walls and door need to be built in order for the Tickerel feeder to work. But JD's working on that now. Raptor, let's butcher. Gabe's hauling in the rest of the corpses. And soon, I'm guessing, hauling in this stuff. Gabe, what I'm going to have you do... no, I'm going to have you keep hauling. It's fine. There's even some a blood spider to be butchered as well. At the current temperature, I can unrestrict everybody, so everybody's free to move about the map. Once this mech cluster wakes up, I'm going to have to be a little cautious about being around it, but that won't be for a little while. I'm also, I just realized, going to need to heat up my kitchen area again. Flicking these on so that they're air conditioning. I'm going to replace these switches. Unfortunately, I kind of wish I didn't have to, but I do want an airlock here, and this is the best way to do one. Because I don't want my meals spoiling. So the trickle feeder, I was hoping hosting royals. Oh, interesting. Yeoman, 3 court allies. Oh boy, 3 court allies? A full set of LTEX or a whole bunch of honor is pretty amazing, but that's a lot of people to host. Just because it increases the challenge of this series, I'm gonna go for it. As honestly, I will attest, as foolish as it is, as bad of an idea as it is, I'm going to do it anyway. Because I like the challenge. So I'm going to try to get... Let's get Bash and JD working towards it. Setting up another set of bedrooms. Alright, so the idea here is we're going to basically mimic the bedrooms. So I'm going to have a lot of bedrooms, in other words. I'm going to mimic the bedrooms I have on the other side of the wall. This also means that I'm going to need to acquire some additional marble, which there is plenty of marble out on the map tile to be harvested. That's going to be a vent. Something like that. So let's go out here where there is marble and remove it from the floors here. Not here. So it does mean that my trickle feeders are going to take a little bit longer, but that's fine. Okay, bash. Cargo pods. Ooh, plasteel. That is quite nice. Let's haul on the plasteel, haul on the components. Alright, so the idea is that these bedrooms are going to be roughly the same dimensions as the ones I already have. They're just going to... I have a few days to build them. Yep. Also means that this is going to have to move over one. Gabe, I don't have time for you to wander or walk. This just got a lot more micromanaging. Alright, so here is the depth of the bedrooms, and as you can see, is a 6 down, so we'll even come out to here. Okay, so this freezer here is not frozen exactly. That's something I'm also going to need to work on. I'm trying to think of how to keep this. Why is it, Oh, target temperature. Oh, okay. Target temperature was off. That's why it wasn't frozen. Okay, it's all fine now. Alright. Then, I'm going to leave my constructors to do a fair bit of deconstruction. Taking really anything that is marble. I guess this is marble as well. So anything that is marble so that we can have nicer bedrooms. Taking a look around the rest of the map. I know that there's other stone up here, but like that's not exactly safe to go for. Plus, there's not a whole lot of it. So, we have picked our target. It's this marble that we'll strip up and haul in. Okay. And then behind these walls, this here will be vents. So then it will be something like this. Which means that this whole stockpile here is going to need to be relocated. Significantly outside the base like this. I don't actually have a good spot for it yet, but something like that. And I might not have enough, I may not have enough to make all of the floors marble. Like that might be more marble than I have at my disposal. But here's to trying. And I have 3 days left to accept. This also probably means that after this cotton, actually all this cotton is ready to go. So all this cotton, I'm just going to have turn over to rice. And then all of this, I'm going to turn over to rice as well, because we'll have a lot more mouths to feed. And that also means that, Gabe, you should be... Oh yeah, you are set to grow. So let's get you off of hauling for now and get you back to growing. There's just going to be a lot of work on that front. Alright, so it's going to look something like this. That's already more or less a mimic of the last bedroom that we have. Gas operation just got done. Let's go for... I don't have the time to make a better bench, so let's go for prosthetics. As you can see, I don't yet have a spot to be able to refrigerate our base here in the central base. So that's another thing that I'm going to have to work towards that I'm aware of. I'm well aware of. Alright, Raptor, for now I'm going to have you haul to try to help out the workload. Let's build the corner piece first. Alright, this power line should be embedded in the wall to not make this ugly. And this could be the court, this could be the Royals room. So we'll focus on one of these rooms being nice, and the rest of them will fall in line. Then we should also build the roof up. As well. And taking a look at the floors, yeah, there's definitely more floors to be stripped up. So that's good. There's room for niceties and improvement. All right, quests, 3 days left. I feel like we've done a lot of work in the limited amount of time we've had so far. And these doors could be left open for now. Not that they let light through, but that's sort of the concept eventually. All right, so here we'll have vent, vent, and then walls and walls. Trying to have them haul efficiently. They are really not wanting to do so. All right, so that's a whole bunch of blocks, though. So here's one bedroom. Another thing I could do, now that we have a nice amount of steel, is to have better beds. This would be a bash thing to build, so let's get that built underway. Excellent beds for everybody would be ideal. I don't really care what our guests have, because I believe they don't do any work. Yeah, they will not do any work, so I don't really care if they're sleeping or not. But for everybody else, I want them to have as nice beds as possible to do as much work as possible. So there's an excellent bed to replace Gabe's normal one. So for now, I'm just going to install it like here. But Gabe, I hope you're mining, because I'm definitely going to need it. All right, so this normal bed I'll have put into the other bedrooms, and that's going to be through the guests. So this owner is going to be Gabe's, and then this is guest beds. Great. All right, the rest of these are all vents. And then this here is going to be marble walls. I don't know, we whipped that up pretty good, pretty quick. Let's add it to the home zone. Let's also add this construction to the home zone. And this cable that runs out to our bait orbital beacon. And then the bait orbital beacon itself should probably be... Oh, that's marble. Let's use sandstone. Something non-flammable is ideal to wall it up so it doesn't get destroyed. And then as Gabe adds... Oh, another excellent bed. Fantastic. Bash, this one will be yours. As Gabe adds additional steel down here, I will queue up additional beds to be made. And then Raptor, you can go off of Hall. Now, as the temperature is warming up, I'm definitely going to have to be cognizant of getting ready to start to cool rather than to heat. We're almost at the point in late spring where we're going to be reliant on coolers instead. And as you can see, there's not a lot of coolers in this base. This is something I'm going to need to add, and soon. And that is not lost on me, not at all. So excellent beds allow you to sleep less hours of the day to recover sleep. Definitely worth doing. Definitely at least excellent beds tends to be the sort of goals I aim for in all of my series. That is what I would consider like min-maxed. So, I don't know, it's just my 2 cents. Bash, when you make psychic tea, drop it. I also might want to put some hops back. That's not exactly what I wanted you to do. JD, what can you do? JD, I want you to collect components, especially from around where this will get activated. And then Gabe, oh, there is some skin spiders out here, so we got to be cautious of them as well. They are dangerous, man-eating spiders. And there's another excellent bed. That's fantastic. That's the last one I need for my main populace. Just gonna wait here a minute. And there we go. And now everybody, all of my normal population will have excellent beds. And then the guests will have... I guess what I'm going to do is switch these around so that the royal one has a good bed. Just as a mood benefit to him. Alright, at this point, another thing I want to do is to make nice things in the base. So jade, chiefly, is what I mean by that. And then these steel pot plants, let's see, I'm going to do... I really don't know if I want heaters in them, though. Maybe in just the one. Maybe in one particularly nice bedroom, and then the rest not so much. I want to make my base nicer so that mood is easier to manage. But that will be for next episode. I am out of time. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching. I will catch you all next episode. Farewell, everybody.